in this video we will be writing another function that is called ReadStringFromMemory. So what it does is it will read the character by character, byte by byte up to the null byte and returns the string from the memory. In the C# we have marsher class to do this, so we face no problem, we just directly use that one. In Rush we do not have any such marshalling class, so that's why we are going to write our own function. So let's say read string from memory. This function is going to take two parameters. The first one is the base address from where we want to read, so the read only pointer, and the next one is the process handle. So we are making this we are using the process handle so we can read from the other processes as well. Since we are using the Windows API, we can write using the unsafe block. So from this base address we need to read 1 byte, and if check whether it is null or not. If it's null, we are going to return this one. So, otherwise we are going to continue the iteration. So we will, after reading the first byte, we will read the next byte, and if it's null we will return, otherwise we will add that into the string vector, and so on. We will iterate all through this one by one, byte by byte, and see we will read the characters and append to a string. So let's declare a string, let's say my string is equals to string type new, and let's also declare a iterator I is equals to 0. Now we are going to use the loop to loop over the array of this one base memory addresses. So first we are going to declare a array, let mute a, so we are going to declare an array of size 1 with 0 as a initialization value. Now we are going to read 1 byte from this base address. So let's do this. Read process memory proc handle, and the next one is the base address. So we already have this base, and the next one is the buffer. So a dot as mute pointer as mute star c void to get the raw mutable pointer, and the next one is size. We need to read 1 byte, and the last one is number of bytes actually read. We don't want to care about that, so our function is ready. So in this loop we are reading the content at this memory address in the infinite loop. We want to iterate over this one, so that's where the I comes in. So we need to add we need to increment the memory address. So we need to say base as I size as u size I size plus I as I size, and we need to cast this integer into constant pointer. Now we are good to go. So in the first loop we are reading at the base address plus 0, and the next iteration base address plus 1, base address plus 2, plus 3, and so on. And we are going to check the read byte which stored in A whether it is null or not. If A of 0 is equals to /0, or we want to put a stopping breaking point for this loop. Let's assume that our string will never have the length of 50. So if I is equals to 50, then we are going to break this loop. Otherwise, we are going to increment this I value. And also we need to store this value, right? So my string dot push of the a of 0 as character. Now we are good to go. So we have an empty string vector and we are reading byte by byte, and we are storing this into the my string. Whenever there is a null byte or the iteration is 50, then I can say here return my string. So I can do that here, and return value is string type. So let's see, let's go and build this one. Cargo build release. Okay, so we have built successfully. So we cannot test this function. Of course, you can test this function using virtual dialog and store some string bytes there and read the string from that memory. But we'll be using this function straight ahead in the upcoming videos to read like DLL names and function names from memory. So that's all for this video. Read string from memory.